Mike, today's topic is a little different. I've been feeling it since morning. It's not loud, not dramatic, just heavy in a quiet way.
Yeah? Heavy how?
Like that feeling when nothing is technically wrong, but something feels unfinished, like you're doing life on repeat.
Oh, that feeling. Yeah, I know it very well. It's like you wake up, do the same things, talk to the same people, think the same thoughts, and one day you realize, wait, when did the days start blending together?
Exactly. And what's strange is from the outside, everything can look fine. Job is okay, family is okay, health is okay. But inside, there's this voice saying, is this it?
That voice can be really uncomfortable. I think many people try to ignore it. They keep themselves busy so they don't have to hear it.
Yes, busy is a great hiding place. You scroll, you work, you watch something, you sleep. And the voice gets quieter, but it doesn't disappear.
You know what triggered that voice for me recently? Something very small. I was standing in line for coffee, and the person in front of me was clearly excited about something. Like real excitement, smiling to themselves.
That's interesting. About coffee?
I don't think it was the coffee. It was their energy. And suddenly I thought, when was the last time I felt that way? Not stressed excitement, not nervous excitement, just alive.
Wow, that hits. Because sometimes we confuse being busy with being alive.
Exactly. And I don't think people want to change their life because their life is terrible. I think they want to change it because it feels flat.
Flat is a good word. Like a song with no bass. The melody is there, but you don't feel it in your chest.
And here's the part that really gets me. Most people think life change has to start with a huge decision. Quit your job, move to another country, become a new person overnight.
Yes, like a movie scene. Big music, big moment. But real life is much quieter. Change usually starts in moments no one sees.
I agree. For me, it started with a very small realization. I noticed that every night I said, tomorrow I'll do better. And every morning I forgot what better even meant.
That's such an honest sentence. Tomorrow I'll do better. But better how?
Exactly. It was just a sentence to make me feel less guilty, not a real plan. And after a while, I started to feel tired of my own promises.
That's a painful place to be, when you don't trust yourself anymore. Yes, and that's where emotions really come in. People think change is about discipline or intelligence, but a lot of it is emotional. How you feel about yourself, whether you believe yourself when you say, I'll try again.
That belief is fragile, especially if you've tried before and stopped.
And most people have stopped before, with English, with habits, with exercise, with dreams.
I remember stopping and starting English so many times. Each time I stopped, I didn't just stop studying. I also told myself a story. Maybe I'm just not good at this.
That story is dangerous because it sounds logical, but it's really emotional.
Yes, it's a feeling wearing the mask of logic.
And once that story settles in, every small effort feels heavier. You're not just studying, you're fighting your own past.
That's such a good way to say it. You're fighting your past versions of yourself.
And that's why change feels emotional before it feels practical. Before habits, before plans, before routines, there's this quiet moment where you decide, I'm not done yet.
That sentence alone can make someone emotional. I'm not done yet.
Because it's not aggressive, it's gentle, but it's strong.
You know, I think people underestimate gentle decisions. They think strength has to be loud.
But some of the strongest decisions are whispered, like, I'll try again tomorrow, or even, I'll try again today.
And those decisions don't come from motivation. They come from honesty, from admitting, I'm not where I want to be.
That admission hurts a little, but it also opens a door.
Yeah, denial keeps the door closed. Honesty unlocks it.
And today, I really want us to talk to the people who feel stuck in that quiet way. Not broken, not hopeless, just paused.
Paused is such a kinder word than failed.
because a pause means you can press play again.
And you don't need a new personality to do that. You don't need to become someone else.
You just need to start listening to that quiet voice instead of running from it.
And maybe asking one simple question, not how do I change my whole life, but what feels wrong right now?
Or even softer, what feels heavy?
Yeah, because once you name that feeling, you're already moving.
That's the part people don't see. Awareness itself is a step.
And maybe that's where real change actually begins, not with action, with attention.
Paying attention to yourself again.
After a long time of not doing that.
If someone listening feels that heaviness right now, I just want to say this. You're not late. You're not behind. You're just at the moment before change.
That moment is uncomfortable, but it's powerful.
And we're going to stay with that feeling. We're not going to rush it.
Because real conversations don't rush. They sit. They breathe.
And from here, we can start talking about why change feels hard and why it's not your fault.
Yeah, there are real reasons, and once you see them, things start to make sense.
Exactly. You know, when people say I feel stuck, it sounds simple, but it's actually a very emotional word.
Yeah, stuck doesn't mean lazy. It doesn't mean weak. It means you want to move, but something inside you won't let you.
Exactly, like pressing the gas pedal while the handbrake is still on.
And the worst part is, you don't always know where that brake is.
Or why it's there in the first place. You just feel resistance. You tell yourself, I should start, but your body and mind say, not now.
I used to think that meant something was wrong with me, like why can other people move forward and I can't?
Same, and that comparison makes everything heavier. You look at others and think, they're disciplined, they're confident, they're different.
But when you look closer, most of them were stuck too. They just didn't stay there forever.
That's such an important point. Being stuck is not the problem. Staying stuck without understanding why is the problem.
So let's talk about the why. One of the biggest reasons is fear, and not big movie fear, quiet fear.
Yes, fear that doesn't scream, it whispers.
Fear of failure is a big one. People imagine failure as embarrassment, judgment, proof that they're not enough.
Or proof that their inner critic was right all along.
That voice that says, see, I told you, don't try.
And once you fail once or twice, the fear changes shape. It's not just fear of failing again, it's fear of feeling that disappointment again.
That emotional memory is powerful. Your brain remembers how bad it felt and it tries to protect you.
By stopping you.
Exactly. The brain thinks it's helping. Let's not try. That way we can't get hurt.
But protection can look a lot like a prison.
Wow, that's true. Safety without movement slowly becomes suffocating.
Another reason people feel stuck is lack of direction. And I don't mean a perfect plan. I mean any clear direction at all.
Yeah, saying I want a better life feels good, but it's too vague.
It's like saying, I want to travel, but you don't choose a country, a city, or even a direction.
So you just stand at the station forever.
And while you stand there, time keeps moving. That's what hurts the most.
That waiting feeling, like life is happening somewhere else.
And then there's negative self-talk. That one is sneaky.
Very sneaky, because it sounds like your own voice.
You don't question it, you just believe it.
I'm not good at languages. I always quit. People like me don't change.
Those sentences become facts in your head, even if they're not true. And if you repeat them every day, your confidence doesn't just drop, it disappears.
You start every new attempt already tired.
That's such a good way to say it. You haven't even started, but you feel exhausted.
And then there's this last trap that looks positive but isn't, waiting for motivation.
Ah, yes, I'll start when I feel ready.
Or, I just need the right mood.
The problem is, motivation is not a starting point, it's a result.
But nobody tells us that, so we wait.
And waiting feels safe, no risk, no failure. but also no movement.
I waited years like that, with English, with personal goals, always thinking, one day.
Same, and one day quietly turned into years.
When you put all of this together, fear, no direction, negative self-talk, waiting for motivation, it makes sense why people feel stuck.
Yes, it's not a personal weakness. It's a human pattern.
And once you see it as a pattern, not a personality flaw, something changes.
You stop blaming yourself so much.
And that alone can feel like a small release.
Because shame keeps you frozen. Understanding softens things.
And softness is not weakness. It's what allows movement again.
Exactly. Before we talk about how to change, we first have to stop attacking ourselves for being where we are.
You can't move forward while yelling at yourself.
You need space and kindness and clarity.
And that's what we're building right now. Clarity about why change feels hard.
Once you understand the ropes holding you, they don't feel invisible anymore.
And when they're visible, you can start loosening them, slowly.
Not all at once, just enough to take the first step.
And that's where things begin to shift.
So now that we've talked about why people feel stuck, there's usually a moment that comes next. It's quiet, but important.
That moment where you think, okay, so what do I do now?
Yes, and this is where many people freeze again, because they imagine change as something huge.
Like flipping a switch and suddenly becoming a new person.
Or waking up one day with discipline, confidence, and perfect habits.
Which is honestly exhausting just to imagine.
Exactly. And that's why I love the idea of small steps, because they don't scare your nervous system.
Small steps feel safe, or at least safer.
And safety matters more than motivation at the beginning.
That's such a good point. People talk a lot about motivation, but very little about feeling safe enough to start.
When something feels too big, your brain says no. When it feels small, your brain says maybe.
And maybe is powerful.
Very powerful, because maybe leads to action.
I remember when I stopped trying to change my life and just tried to change my evenings.
That's interesting. What do you mean?
I noticed my evenings were just disappearing. Phone, videos, scrolling, sleep, repeat.
Yeah, that empty, tired feeling.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I'll become a productive person, I said, I'll do one small thing for 10 minutes before bed.
Just 10 minutes?
Just 10. Sometimes English, sometimes writing, sometimes nothing serious. But the rule was simple. 10 minutes of intention.
And how did that feel?
Honestly, at first it felt almost too small, like it didn't count.
That's such a common feeling. People think small actions don't matter.
But after a week, something shifted. I started seeing myself differently.
Ah, identity.
Yes, I stopped thinking, I'm someone who never sticks to things. I started thinking, I'm someone who shows up a little.
That sentence alone can change everything.
Because once your identity shifts, habits become easier.
This is such an important idea. Habits are not just actions. They're votes for the person you're becoming.
Even tiny votes count.
Especially tiny ones because you repeat them.
And repetition is what builds trust with yourself.
That trust is emotional. It's not logical. It's a feeling.
Yeah, it's the feeling of, oh, maybe I can rely on myself again.
That feeling is rare for people who've quit many times.
And very healing.
Let's talk about habits more. A habit is something you do again and again, often without thinking.
Like brushing your teeth or checking your phone.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is you already have habits. Everyone does.
The question is not, do I have habits? It's, are my habits helping me or hurting me?
And changing a habit doesn't mean fighting yourself. It means designing something easier.
For example, when I wanted to listen to more English, I stopped telling myself, I'll sit and study.
What did you do instead?
I connected it to something I already did: cooking, cleaning, walking.
That's smart. You didn't add effort, you just changed the sound in the background.
Exactly. And that's why it worked. No pressure.
Pressure kills consistency.
It really does. Another thing that helped me was lowering the bar.
Yes, let's talk about that, because people hate that advice.
They do. They think lowering the bar means lowering standards.
But it actually means raising consistency.
Instead of saying, I'll study English for 1 hour, say, I'll read 1 paragraph.
1 paragraph is hard to refuse.
And once you start, sometimes you keep going, sometimes you don't.
And both are okay.
That's the key, removing guilt.
Guilt makes habits heavy. Light habits last longer.
There's also this idea of becoming 1% better.
I love that idea because it respects time.
You don't feel 1% change in a day.
But you feel it after months.
And suddenly you look back and think, wait, how did I get here?
Quiet progress is easy to forget while it's happening.
But it's powerful.
I think people underestimate how much their life can change in a year.
Because a year sounds long, but it's actually just many small days.
Days where you choose one small action instead of 0.
And those choices stack.
That's such a good phrase. They stack.
And one day you realize you're not forcing change anymore.
You're living it.
And it didn't start with motivation or confidence.
It started with one small, gentle decision.
And the courage to repeat it.
Again and again.
Even on days when you don't feel inspired.
Especially on those days.
Because those days build real strength.
And from there, momentum starts to grow.
Slowly, naturally.
Without shouting.
Without pressure.
Just movement.
Forward movement.
You know, once small habits start to feel possible, something else comes up. The way you talk to yourself.
Yeah, the inner voice. The one that's always there, even when no one else is.
And that voice can either make change lighter or much heavier.
For a long time, mine was not very kind.
Same here. And what's tricky is we think that voice is just telling the truth.
Right, we think, this is just how I am.
But a lot of the time, it's just an old recording.
Wow, an old recording. I like that.
Something you learned from past experiences, mistakes, or even other people's opinions.
And your brain keeps playing it again and again.
This is where mindset comes in. Mindset is the general way you see yourself and your future.
It's like the lens you look through.
Exactly. And there are 2 common lenses, growth mindset and fixed mindset.
With a fixed mindset, you believe your abilities are set, like, I'm just bad at languages.
And with a growth mindset, you believe abilities can change with effort and time.
Not instantly, not magically, but gradually.
That difference sounds small, but emotionally it's huge.
Because one feels like a closed door.
And the other feels like a door you can slowly open.
I remember when I first noticed this in myself. I kept saying, I'm bad at speaking.
And that sentence feels heavy.
Very heavy. So I tried something small. I changed it to, I'm learning to speak.
Such a small change.
But emotionally, it felt different, less final.
Words matter, especially the ones we say to ourselves.
And there's also something interesting about how the brain works.
Yeah, this part sounds complex, but the idea is simple.
The brain has a filter. It decides what information is important.
It's called the reticular activating system, but you don't need to remember the name.
Just remember the job.
If you tell your brain something is important, it starts looking for it.
Like when you learn a new word and suddenly see it everywhere.
Exactly. The word was always there. You just didn't notice it before.
So if your inner voice keeps saying, I can't, your brain looks for proof.
proof that supports that story.
But if your inner voice says, I'm improving, your brain starts noticing small wins.
Small wins you would normally ignore.
And those wins feed your confidence.
This is why people talk about reprogramming the mind.
It's not about lying to yourself.
It's about choosing a more helpful story.
And there are a few simple tools for that. Nothing dramatic.
One of them is affirmations.
A lot of people think affirmations are silly.
Until they understand how they work.
An affirmation is just a positive sentence you say on purpose.
Like, I am getting better at English every week.
At first, it might feel fake.
That's okay. New things often feel uncomfortable.
The point is repetition, not perfection.
Another tool is visualization.
This one surprised me.
Me too. Visualization means closing your eyes and imagining yourself doing something well.
I used it before difficult conversations.
Really?
Yeah, I imagined myself speaking calmly, even making a small mistake and staying relaxed.
That's powerful, because your brain practices without risk.
Exactly. And when the real moment comes, it feels more familiar.
The third tool is gratitude.
This one sounds simple, but it's deep.
Gratitude means noticing what is already working.
Not ignoring problems, just not letting them be the only thing you see.
When I started writing one good thing each night, my mood changed.
Did it change your life overnight?
No, but it changed the way my days felt.
And that matters, because mood affects motivation.
And motivation affects action.
Everything is connected.
When your inner voice becomes more supportive, trying feels less scary.
You still feel fear.
But fear doesn't control you.
And instead of a critic, you start hearing a coach.
A coach says, that was hard. Try again.
A critic says, you failed. Stop.
Changing that voice takes time.
But every kind sentence helps.
Even small ones.
Especially small ones.
Because they slowly change the atmosphere inside you.
And when the atmosphere changes, behavior follows.
That's when real change starts to feel possible.
Not because life is easy.
But because you're no longer fighting yourself.
And that's a big shift.
You know, even with a kinder inner voice and small habits, there's still one thing that quietly stops a lot of people.
Let me guess. Perfection.
Exactly. The idea that you need to be ready before you begin.
Or confident, or skilled, or somehow different from who you are now.
And perfection sounds responsible. It sounds smart.
But emotionally, it's a delay button.
A very polite excuse to not move.
I've used it so many times. I'll start when I have more time. I'll start when I'm better.
And those conditions never fully arrive.
Never. Life stays messy.
And waiting for a clean, perfect moment means waiting forever.
The truth is, confidence usually comes after action.
Not before.
It's like standing at the edge of a swimming pool.
You don't feel comfortable until you're already in the water.
But people keep standing there thinking comfort will arrive on its own.
I remember when I first started recording myself speaking English.
Oh, that's a vulnerable moment.
Very. I hated my voice. I noticed every mistake.
Did you redo it again and again?
So many times. I wanted the perfect version.
And did you ever feel satisfied?
No, there was always something wrong.
That's the trap. Perfection keeps moving.
One day, I just said, this is good enough.
That sentence is powerful.
It felt scary, but also freeing.
And what happened?
Nothing terrible. The world didn't end.
That's usually the case.
Some people even said they liked it because it felt real.
That's something people forget. Imperfect often feels more human.
And more relatable.
There's a sentence I love. A messy start is better than a perfect one day.
Because one day often means never.
Exactly. Action creates momentum.
Momentum is that feeling when movement becomes easier.
Like pushing a bike, the first push is the hardest.
After that, you just guide it.
And momentum is emotional too.
Yes, it gives you hope.
It says, see, you're moving.
That feeling can change how you see yourself.
That's why tiny actions matter so much.
They create proof,
Proof that you can act.
even when you don't feel ready.
So here's a gentle challenge.
Just one.
Think of something you keep postponing
Something small, not a life decision.
and give it 5 minutes.
Only 5.
No pressure to finish, just begin.
5 minutes is hard to argue with.
And once you start, something interesting happens.
You're already doing the thing you were avoiding.
And avoidance loses some of its power
Even if you stop after 5 minutes, you win.
because you showed up.
And showing up builds self-respect.
That's deeper than motivation.
Now, there's one more piece we need to talk about.
Yes, because change doesn't happen in isolation.
Your environment matters more than people think.
Environment means everything around you.
People, places, sounds, content.
There's a saying that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
And emotionally, that feels true.
If the people around you are always negative, it's exhausting to stay hopeful.
But if they're trying, learning, growing,
That energy spreads.
even quietly,
When I joined a small online study group, everything changed.
not because English became easy.
But because quitting became harder.
That's such an important difference.
Support doesn't remove difficulty, it reduces loneliness.
And loneliness makes everything heavier.
It's not just people, it's also what you consume.
Your information diet.
Just like food, some information feeds you.
And some drains you.
Endless negative news, drama, arguments.
They leave you tired, even if you didn't do anything.
Choosing better content is an act of self-care.
A quiet one.
And when your environment improves, action feels more natural.
You don't have to fight yourself as much.
Because the world around you is supporting movement.
Even small movement.
And that's how change becomes sustainable,
Not forced.
but supported.
Before we end, I feel like we should slow down a little.
Yeah, this feels like a moment to breathe.
We shared a lot today. Ideas, emotions, memories.
And when there's a lot, it helps to gently organize things in your mind.
Exactly. So let's do a calm word walk. Not a test, just a soft review.
Let's start with a word that came up many times. Stuck.
Stuck means you want to move forward, but something is holding you back.
Like saying, I feel stuck in my routine, or I feel stuck with my English.
It doesn't mean you're broken. It means something needs attention.
Then we talked about fear of failure.
Failure means something doesn't work the way you hoped.
Fear of failure is being scared to try because you might not succeed.
Like, my fear of failure stopped me from speaking English.
Or fear of failure kept me in the same job for years.
Another important word was direction.
Direction is knowing where you're going, even a little.
You can say, I want to change my life, but I don't have direction. Or, this small habit gave me direction.
Then there was negative self-talk.
That's the voice in your head that's unkind.
Like saying, I'm not smart, or I always fail.
And we talked about changing that voice, slowly.
Next was habit.
A habit is something you do again and again, almost automatically.
Listening to English podcasts is my new habit. Or checking my phone in the morning is a habit I want to change.
Habits shape identity.
Identity is how you see yourself.
Like, I see myself as a learner now.
Or my identity changed when I started showing up for myself.
Then we had mindset.
Mindset is your general way of thinking about your abilities and future.
With a positive mindset, challenges feel possible.
With a fixed mindset, everything feels final.
And a growth mindset says, I can improve.
Even if it's slow.
We also talked about affirmation.
An affirmation is a positive sentence you say on purpose.
Like, I am getting better every day.
It's not magic, it's practice.
Visualization was another one.
That's when you imagine yourself doing something well.
Like, imagining yourself speaking calmly.
And gratitude.
Gratitude is noticing what is already good.
I'm thankful for one small win today.
Gratitude doesn't erase problems.
But it softens them.
Then there was momentum.
Momentum is the energy that builds when you keep moving.
Once you start, it becomes easier to continue.
And finally, environment.
Environment is everything around you.
People, content, places.
Changing your environment can change how hard things feel.
Even before you change yourself.
If you didn't remember every word, that's okay.
You can listen again.
Or choose one word and make your own sentence.
Say it quietly.
Or write it down.
That's real practice.
And before we say goodbye, I want to say this.
If you're listening and thinking, I should be further by now,
please be gentle with yourself.
You're not late.
You're learning.
And learning is not a straight line.
Small steps still count.
Even quiet ones.
Even imperfect ones.
We believe in steady progress.
And in you.
Keep going.
One small step at a time.
We'll see you again soon.
Take care.
Bye for now.